Hi everyone. Thanks for coming. The meeting will start in a few minutes as we wait for people to join. So I believe we should start at 7:05 officially. But thank you again for your attendance. Meanwhile, Margaret, could you tell us a bit about yourself?
So I should start with the introduction before other people join.
No, it's okay. It's being live streamed, so if they miss it, they can go and catch it on YouTube. So you can, yeah.
So good evening, everyone. So my name is Margaret Kamau, and I am an information security writer and a researcher. I do that on a part-time basis, and I am also an information technology student and a Microsoft Learn student ambassador, and I am passionate about cybersecurity and digital forensics. So I think in a nutshell, that is all about me.
Thank you for that. Nancy and Tony, would you like to introduce yourself before we start?
Oh, hello guys. My name is Tony Gidroff, and we take you through the Tuesday sessions together with Maria and Nancy. Unfortunately, Nancy, she told me she's traveling. She's in the meeting, but maybe she's unable to unmute. So maybe she can introduce herself later if possible. So like I said, I'm Tony. Thank you so much, Maggie, for joining early and other members. So today's our Tuesday session. Like usual, we handle the campus sessions today, and for Thursday we have the community sessions. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you. So I think we'll just give the members time until maybe 7:05. We wait for the others to join, then we can start officially.
Nancy is not able to use her microphone at the moment, so I'll introduce myself. My name is Maria. I basically handle the social media and facilitate the Zoom meetings. So I hope you enjoyed this session. I think we should begin. People enter at their own time. So Margaret, you can start sharing your screen and you can begin.
Okay. So I hope I am still audible.
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, my name is Margaret Kamau, and today's topic will be about improving your cybersecurity career beyond the technical approaches. So I know most of the content that you will find out there is always focused on the technical ways in which you can improve your cybersecurity career. And you should also concentrate on this other side of the non-technical approaches because it is also equally important and it will help you push the technical skills so that you can have a stable career in cybersecurity. So let me give an example of a person who is in a room. So that person, let's say his name is James. So James is in a room and he has technical cybersecurity skills. And James wants to go up to the door, open it, and get out there and tell people what he has to offer. or maybe improve his personal brand, or even start his own something like a consultancy firm, anything in self-employment. So in normal circumstances, even if it's not in cybersecurity, maybe circumstances, James will have to like walk up to the door. If there is any obstacles that he will encounter, he must find a way of like removing them from his way and getting a way to open that door and going to the world and like interacting with the rest of the world and communicating with the world. So think of that as cybersecurity. So you have the technical skills in cybersecurity, but for you to open new opportunities, for you to like remove all these obstacles from your way, and for you to reach the world and tell the world that you can provide maybe services in security, maybe you can speak at conferences, all those activities that are involved in cybersecurity, you must have these other non-technical skills. So this is why it is important to have non-technical skills, or to complement technical skills with non-technical skills. So be it, let's say you want to improve your personal cybersecurity brand. Let's say you want to look for a job. Let's say you even want to be self-employed, maybe something like a cybersecurity consultancy firm. In all these areas, you will need the non-technical skills in cybersecurity to push these technical skills that you have. So to have all these skills, all these non-technical skills, you must do a list of things, or you must be consistent in some few things. And I think today's discussion, although it will be focused more on the non-technical skills, we will still be having a few technical approaches here and there. So I think from that, we can start on the first approach that you can take to improve your cybersecurity career beyond the technical approaches. So the first thing that you can do, that you should do, is to know what field you want to major in. So I remember last year was when I started like seriously concentrating on cybersecurity. And I know many beginners might encounter this. You might think that cybersecurity is just one field and everyone just has the same cybersecurity, maybe study roadmap. All of us take the same certifications. Maybe all of us will be employed in the same departments, or maybe all of us will be doing similar jobs. But you have to know that cybersecurity has different fields, and it is important to know these different fields so that you can filter through what you will be learning, maybe the certifications that you have to take, and it will also be easier to like your journey will also be easier, since you will not like be studying anything and everything. You will not be attending like all sessions which are related to cybersecurity. Although it is important at least to gain exposure in other fields, you will at least know what field you want to concentrate in. So in today's discussion, we will be focusing on, for our discussion, I think for it to be simpler, we'll be looking at the how to improve your cybersecurity career beyond these technical approaches, the where and the why you should improve your cybersecurity career. So the where, or the site that you can rely on to know, maybe you want to be in offensive security, or you want to be in defensive security. There is a site called CyberSn, and I think we can move to that site and see what I am talking about. So with this site, you can see that it has 45 roles which are in cybersecurity, and these roles are categorized into compliance, defense, maybe developing, education, and these other ones. So these are all the roles available. And if we pick an example of a security analyst, you can see it tells us who a security analyst is, the role overview, and even the different names that a security analyst may be referred to. So you might get that Safaricom is advertising for a role of a security analyst, but another company is advertising for a role and calling it Purple Team Analyst. So with such information, you'll know that these two roles have similar, maybe study roadmaps, similar certifications, and similar requirements. So it also shows you the career path. And the best thing about this site, it also shows you the average salary. So at least you will have an answer to that question where the HR people ask you in interviews, like, what is your salary expectation? So although it might not, you might not tell them the exact figure that is here, you at least have a range of where to start from. And at least you know if what you have said is actually what other people are earning. You will also know the responsibilities that you will be doing and the tools and how your work environment will be like. The other important thing is about the certifications that you will be taking. You can see the certifications are categorized into the category, whether it's defense or whether it's defensive or offensive, the organization that provides it, and the name of the certification. So with that information, it will be simpler for you, since you will know the certifications you can take, your study roadmap, the salary you should ask for, and such other important things. So I think that is that. So the other area, so this is just a screenshot of what we have discussed, the 45 roles in cybersecurity and how they are categorized. So the other area is social media. And for social media, I would like to insist on two platforms, that is LinkedIn and Twitter. So right now, if you are here and you don't have a LinkedIn profile, make sure you create one, and don't just create one and then leave it at that. Create one, ensure that everything about your professional life that is relating to cybersecurity or whatever field that you want to major in is uploaded. And also for you to have like a network of cybersecurity professionals around you, ensure that you send connection requests to people, such that if you created your LinkedIn profile today, so by the end of like 1 year or before an year, you have 100+ connections, and most of them are focused in cybersecurity. So to do this, you can just go to LinkedIn, and then on the search bar, there is an option of searching for anything that you want. So if you're in penetration testing, you can search for something like penetration testing, or maybe if you love incident response, you can search for something like incident response. And from there, LinkedIn will give you a suggestion of all people, of everyone who is in those industries, and you can connect with them and build a network. So many of us here, I know most of us are in the beginner stages of our cybersecurity journey, and you might feel like you don't have enough like knowledge or even experience to be commenting or to be even posting in issues which you think maybe are too deep into cybersecurity. So don't shy away from that. If you see a post talking about cybersecurity stuff and you think that you have maybe information to offer, you just comment on it. Do posts maybe like do posts like do posts that are related to cybersecurity. Like recently we had a Facebook outage. You can do such content and maybe tell us your opinion. And also it is great for both LinkedIn and Twitter to follow companies you would love to work for. So if you would love to work for Microsoft, Safaricom, follow such companies, since it is through following such platforms that you will be knowing of things like what is their work culture, maybe how do they operate, and such things. So these two platforms are also great for your for recruiters. Like for LinkedIn, I know recruiters are now using LinkedIn to hunt for like employees. So maybe a certain company has a position available. So, and a certain recruiter thinks that you are the best fit for that position. So before it goes public, they might pass it through you first. And then from there, you see, you will get a job since you have used LinkedIn as your digital resume. So for Twitter and LinkedIn, also follow, like I said, follow the companies that you want to work for, since some of them also posts their job positions, I mean, available job openings online. So like for Twitter, I know a company like Cooperative Bank has always have a posting of job openings. So after maybe like for LinkedIn, I know most of us take online courses, and after that course, you are given a certification. So you can also post that certification on LinkedIn, and it will make you visible, and it will show people that you are good in a certain field. And you can also like reach a larger audience, a larger cybersecurity audience through LinkedIn and Twitter. So like I said, for both Twitter and LinkedIn, create a network of security professionals and enthusiasts. So the other tip is to join cybersecurity communities. So no man is an island, and this applies to everyone who is in security, whether you're in a tech field. You should know that cybersecurity communities or any tech field is very important for your career, since these are the platforms that you get to network with fellow techies, with fellow people, with fellow colleagues who are interested in cybersecurity. And also you will get free tips and resources to your answers. Let's say, I know most of you have seen people posting their assignments on WhatsApp groups, and then they receive answers. I'm not saying that you should be going around posting your assignments on WhatsApp groups, but I know you understand what I mean, that if you have a question, you will have a pool of answers, unlike in situations where in situations in which you are not part of a community. So when you are in these communities, remember your opinion also matters and it counts. So don't forget to contribute to conversations. I know you might be this person who just let's say it's a WhatsApp group. You might be this person who just like you just read other people's messages and conversations, but you don't contribute. So break from that habit. As hard, okay, and I know it's easier said than done, but with consistency, I'm sure you can break from that. So right now, since COVID started, the cybersecurity communities have evolved. So most of them are online. So where you can join such communities is through WhatsApp channels, Telegram, and even Discord. So if you know that a certain community has a Telegram channel, has a Discord channel, join that community. And and it also joining communities doesn't mean that you have to pay. Let's say there is a certain professional body and you think it will be beneficial to your career, but you don't have the rights, or maybe you don't have financial resources to join at the moment. So doing things like following their social media platforms and joining, like I said, the WhatsApp groups, the Telegram channels, which are free, can also help you in your career. So like I said, the why you should be joining these communities is because they give free tips and resources. If you are in many communities, you will find the same like resources being like circulating in this WhatsApp group. Maybe you are in a certain WhatsApp group, you find the resource here, and then it is sent to another WhatsApp group. So you see, when you are in these communities, you will not be left out. So the where we have said is through social media, following communities in their social media channels. If they have a Twitter platform, follow them, LinkedIn. If they have a WhatsApp group, Telegram channel, Discord channel, follow them there. So the other approach is to take up leadership positions and to volunteer. So let's take an example. All of us here, let's take an example that we are in a certain political party, and then we are campaigning for a certain politician. So normally it's not all of us who will be communicating to the politician, or not all communication will be being passed from like the members to the politician. We have to have a medium, and these mediums, in most times, these mediums are the leaders or people who are volunteering. And if it's a political party, I'm talking about a political party, since I think that is what you will easily understand. If it's a political party and we have the politician, and then we have the leaders, and then we have the members, the leaders will obviously have some benefits these members won't have, or will receive or they will be exposed to opportunities that you as just a member won't receive. So if you don't have if you don't have the freedom to be a leader, take up volunteer positions. So volunteer positions can be like helping in events planning, maybe making posters for your local cybersecurity community, and maybe marketing posters through social media channels. So these tech communities include things like your local tech clubs. So let's say you have a tech club in your school, and obviously this tech club has a cybersecurity, like maybe has a cybersecurity umbrella. So you can go to the cybersecurity community and offer to like volunteer, or maybe to be a leader. Or even if you don't have a cybersecurity community in your school, you can offer to start one. So it doesn't have to be like you are joining things which are already there. If you don't find things like communities, like cybersecurity communities already set up, you can always set up on your own and like gather a few people who are interested in cybersecurity. So most of these positions will obviously be unpaid. And right now, you don't have to receive like payment in monetary form for you to be like, for you to say that you are paid. There are other ways that will be beneficial to you, that will even help you in your, like, they will increase your like job experience, and they will even help you like know your field better, and they don't have to be in money form. So we have seen the how you can take up leadership positions and volunteering. The how is through events planning, maybe reaching out to a wider audience through advertising, creating posters. The where is through the tech communities. If you are in employment, I think there are many professional organizations that you can join. Let's say there is an organization or a community that has cybersecurity professionals, maybe something like cybersecurity professionals in Kenya. Join such communities. So why this is important is because you will gain experience, and this you can put in your resume. And also, a volunteer position might also graduate to a job, since you have to agree with me, it is harder to approach a company or a community asking them to give you a job than it is telling them that you want to volunteer in their maybe community or something of the sort. So you have to use a way which will let people let you in first, and then when they let you in, and maybe if they feel your skills are really beneficial to them, then it might graduate to a job. So that is all about taking up leadership positions and volunteering. The other one is attending tech events. And for this, I have to mention of how the very first event that the very first event that was cybersecurity related that I ever attended was an Isaka Intervarsity Bootcamp. So it was training on cybersecurity fundamentals. And at that time, I was in second year, and I thought we didn't have like, I didn't think that you can do hacking professionally. But after attending that Isaka bootcamp, I got to know that there is actually something like cybersecurity. And I will not lie that I was like I understood most of the things that were going on, because you can imagine that was when I was hearing things like rootkit for the first time ever. And most of the people there seemed more experienced, so they were intimidating, and they made me think maybe this field is not cut out for me, because I think I don't even know where to start, or maybe what roadmap to take. But despite all those all those negatives, not understanding what was being said, maybe feeling intimidated because people know a lot than I knew, I managed to get connections. And although I cannot remember most of the things that we were taught on that day, at least I still have the connections that I got from that event. So if you are in school, whether you are employed, don't shy away from attending information security workshops or boot camps. And after you attend, always make sure that you build and establish connections. Don't be this person who is seated on their own, not interacting with other people. Maybe it's during break time or even tea time for that event. You are just on your own. You just take your snacks first and go back to the maybe training hall. No, just talk to people, get to know what they do, take their contacts, and that is how you build connections. So after you take their contacts, always remember to keep the conversation going, because you might fall in this side where people just go to events. You talk on the first day, maybe the first few days, that 1 week, and then you never contact that person again. But when you want a favor like a job, you contact them again. So that is not a network. For you to build a network, you always ensure that you have to keep the conversation going. You will be surprised that you will even be sharing things like memes. So if sharing memes means the conversation will keep going, do that, but just do it professionally. I don't know if we can share memes professionally, but what I am saying is do it, but do it professionally, respecting the, other people's boundaries. So right now, there is COVID, and most of these events like workshops and boot camps are not happening physically. So part of attending tech events includes the online sessions. So I remember last week, SheHacks had a session, and there were a number of panelists who were really talking about how cybersecurity is in Africa, what are the challenges of cybersecurity in different countries. So from such sessions, you will get advice, and you will get to know what is happening in different sectors of cybersecurity. So because right now you might be listening to someone speak in a conference, but who knows, next year you might be the one who will be speaking. So with such skills, you will at least know what to address and maybe how to conduct conferences. So that is the why you should attend tech events. The where is through workshops, boot camps, and online events. So I remember last week also Safaricom had an event on personal branding. And if the event is about personal branding, obviously Safaricom will bring their own talent acquisition personnel to be the speakers. they will not go and take an employee from Microsoft to come and speak to a Safaricom event. So at least if you are dealing, if it's a Safaricom event and maybe the talent acquisition personnel is from Safaricom, they might give you a few tips, maybe like the talent acquisition process, what to do, what's not to do, maybe what they look out for, and such other things which will be beneficial to you. So how you can attend such tech events. So if you are not in cybersecurity communities, or if you are not in a network or an environment that has maybe cybersecurity professionals or just people who are interested in cybersecurity, you might miss such events. So for you not to miss such events, ensure that you follow pages. If maybe, let's say, if Safaricom has a Twitter page, if they have a LinkedIn page, follow such pages. Since if Safaricom had a personal branding session, they will post that event on their Twitter handle. If SheHacks has a session today, they will post it in their maybe LinkedIn on their Twitter handle. And also if you are in their WhatsApp group, Telegram channel, you will get to know you. There is no way you'll be missing such opportunities. And the other thing you can do is to follow people who are, maybe if you are passionate about penetration testing and you know a certain professional is also interested in penetration testing, they might post about such security events. So let me use that example that I was telling you about ISACA. So that boot camp was paid, but at that time, I was following Dr. Bright Gameli on Instagram, since I think that is the only person I knew at that time who was in cybersecurity. So, and he posted about how ISACA is holding an university boot camp, and how a certain organization can sponsor you to attend that boot camp. So you see from that, even if a boot camp is paid, and maybe a certain day, like ISACA has certain sponsors, you might pass through the sponsors and get to attend that event for free. So I think we have addressed that well. The other tip is to take up volunteer roles and internships, but for this case in companies. The other one was more focused on security communities, but this one is for companies. So I have interacted with a few people who are interns, who are cybersecurity interns in companies. And some of the information they tell you is so beneficial, since right now you might be like reading or practicing a certain tool, or maybe just reading certain content that you think is really beneficial to your career. But then such people tell you that that is actually not needed in the industry, or you might think of things like maybe your skills in security are not enough, or maybe you don't have enough to offer in the job market. But they come and tell you about things like, don't stress about that, you will actually be trained, or maybe before you join, before you are taken as an intern, you will be taken through, let's say, training first. So for if you take these volunteer roles and internships, at least you will gain experience, and you will also know of what, like the scope of what is required, or what you have to do in order to have like good skills for cybersecurity. The other thing that taking internships or just having a job experience will do to you is it will make you gain confidence. Since right now, if we take a person, let's say we have two people, we have James and Peter. So James is in the university. James does a lot of practice on penetration testing, and we have Peter here. He also does a lot of practice on penetration testing, but Peter has gone a step further and taken something like an internship in a company. Peter, you might, in most circumstances, you might find Peter being more confident in his skills than James, because maybe he has interacted with like a real world job environment. He knows what to do in case of anything, and maybe he has also gotten mentorship from the people he works with. So that is the why you should be taking up volunteer roles and internships. So how will you find these internships is through your networks and these groups that we have talked about that you should be following. So through social media platforms, you might get companies advertising that they need an intern. Through career platforms for companies. So most companies have websites, and in these websites, there is a section for careers. So if you are interested in working in a certain company, you can be going to such sections and seeing if they actually have a position available for you. The other thing that you can do is through cold pitching. So cold pitching, you can use emails or through LinkedIn. So this is where maybe a certain company is not looking for interns, or it's not looking for people for a position. But since you think that you have the necessary skills and they might take you, you just take that chance and send an email to that company, or maybe message someone on LinkedIn who is responsible for hiring, and it might work or not, but it's good to try, because it might work, it might not, but if it works, it is still great, since at least you will have secured the internships. So the where we have said is through social media channels, Twitter, like LinkedIn, Twitter, the career pages of companies, and through your networks. So the networks that you will have gained from attending these tech events are the ones which you can use to like get these internship positions or volunteer roles in companies. But like we said, you have to keep the conversation going for you to be like requesting for such favors from people. You just don't go silent on someone, and then when you think you are in need, you just like contact them, asking them if they have a company, if they have a position for an intern. So for you to get maybe advice on doing on maybe if there is a position available, you have to keep the conversation going. So the other tip is to have your work publicly available, and this is through creating content. And this is especially important if you are looking to create a personal brand in cybersecurity. So creating content can be through writing articles, having your code out there, or just your general portfolio. Let's say you were in cyber talents and you did a certain CTF. Write that CTF right up. If maybe you have a certain code or you have done a certain project, make sure it's on GitHub. So creating content can also include having things like, let's say, tutorials on how to use a certain tool, or just tutorials that are related to cybersecurity. So the other platform that you can use for creating content is through Twitter. So you can use your Twitter profile for your cybersecurity career, such that you tweet about things which are related to cybersecurity. If a certain topic or a certain trend is upcoming in cybersecurity, tweet about it. For YouTube, if you feel that you can maybe teach people about how to use a certain tool, or how to just do anything that is related to cybersecurity, You can use YouTube for creating tutorials. So for these sites, they don't have to be paid. If you don't have the right financial capability, you can always be relying on free sites like Medium for writing your articles. And also, it's important for if you want your content to be publicly available, let's say for a platform like GitHub, it is better to have terrible code than having none at all. But then, even if you have this terrible code on GitHub, focus on making it better. So the importance of all this is because the major importance of creating content is because it shows your passion. So let's say you are in penetration testing, it shows that you are really passionate in penetration testing, and you just don't do it because you're supposed to do it. You go a step further to create content and show it to the world. And like I said, creating content will be very beneficial to your personal brand, since right now you might be in second year and you might create your first YouTube tutorial, but by the time you are in fourth year, you will not be the same. You will have gained experience. Maybe people will also be following you and they will be finding your content important. So by the end of that time frame, you will have gained an audience. So the other thing I would love to mention is for you to create content, it doesn't have to be like a side thing or maybe a backup plan. Let's say you think you are in your job and you think you're going to get fired, so you are doing content. So just in case you are fired, you will have something to fall back to. You can create content even if you are solid in your job, because right now you might be employed, but you don't know how that content is going to blow up in the next few years. Like I know when I mention of Darknet Diaries, you just think of the hacking stories that are there, and you don't know, you are not concerned about what Jack was doing before Darknet Diaries, because you only focus on the content that he is creating. So create content. If you have the passion to create content, it doesn't have to be something forced. So create content. You might find that maybe a few years to come, it might blow up to something else which you didn't even expect. The other thing that I would love to mention is for you, if you want to create content, you should start doing it early enough. So like I said, if you are in first year in university and you think you can do maybe articles about security topics, just start there. You don't have to wait for you to gain experience or for you to start working in security to start doing content that is security related. You just start small and start early enough. So like I said, content is important for your personal brand. And for creating content, you don't have to to limit it to a certain platform. If you think Twitter, your content will do well in Twitter, then it will do well in LinkedIn. Just go with where it will do well. So I know you might know of David Bombal. And he has a YouTube channel and he has a lot of content that is information security related. And I was even shocked to find out that he has a TikTok channel. You know how most of us who are in security perceive TikTok, but he has a TikTok channel. So if you think your content will do well in TikTok, if you think you will still have an audience in TikTok, you just go there. The other tip is to upskill and learn. And the major importance of this is to remain relevant, because the things that we are learning now in 2021 might be different to what was present in 2020. So the job industry or the cybersecurity industry is advancing. So and you don't want to be left stalling if the industry is advancing, just go with it. And to go with it, you have to upskill so that you can remain relevant. So for upskilling and practicing, you can always rely on free trainings and even scholarships. You don't have like to break a bank for you to be learning. You can rely on a lot of free trainings, free courses, and even sites like Udemy always have like free courses like from time to time. And when we talk about Udemy, I know most of you here have a lot of courses that you have signed up and you have never touched. And I think I also fall in this category. So after this event, all of us should come up with a plan of finishing these Udemy courses. And I know that is easier said than done, but we will try. So part of upskilling also includes attending cybersecurity sessions. Like last week again, SheHacks had a session on cloud security. And if you are a student, even if you are a professional who is in cloud security, it is good to attend such events, since you will always learn something new, or you will always get better at doing something. So if you find that a certain company is having a session on maybe cloud security, attend it, and you will get to know new things and even gain experience and know the trends to focus on. So for the sites or where you can get free content, or where you can get content that will help you in upskilling and practicing, is through, okay, I think I should start mentioning about this site first that is there. So this site is called INE. It has good cybersecurity courses. And if you are a student, you can go and take their starter pass courses. They are free. Like I think they have, I'm not sure if it's a penetration testing course, but it's something of the sort. So you can take that course for free. So this is how the site looks like. They call that course, I think, penetration testing starter pass. So you can check it out. The other courses or resources for learning which are cheap or free is Cyber Mentor, TCM Academy. And for Cyber Mentor, his courses are structured are very different and unique. Because I have taken one of his courses, and it is unique from some other courses that you will find online. It is well structured. You will get to understand well. So, and most times he has like free. You can sign up for free to get his courses. So to get such offers, you can follow him on LinkedIn and Twitter. The other platform is Mose Cybersecurity Internship. So this is a structured remote internship which aims at improving your cybersecurity skills. So the mode of learning, so how you learn is, let's say today you're supposed to learn about Wireshark. So you go through the notes, you go through the content that is there. And then to show, or the submission that you will make will be in video form. So you take like a screen recording showing maybe how you have been able to capture traffic using Wireshark, and then you submit it and they will review it. So after they review it, they will like give feedback on whether you have passed or whether you should repeat. And if at all you have been told that you should repeat that section of the course, they have resources for you to check on where you went wrong. The other site is DFIR Diva, and this one is great for people who are in digital forensics and incident response. And most of the content here, most of the courses are free. And I think for this site also, they have other courses. They might have a penetration testing testing course, if I am not wrong. So you can check it out if you are looking for free resources. The other one that we have already mentioned is INE Cybersecurity. And the last one is Udemy. And for Udemy, we have agreed that all of us will come up with a plan and ensure that we finish all those Udemy courses. So for practicing, you can rely on TryHackMe, Hack the Box, and HackerOne, or any site that you find reliable. So the other important approach that you should take to build your cybersecurity career is building a network. So you can build a network in different ways. You can find a coach, a mentor, information sources, and have a team you can rely on. So it might be hard, or you might find it hard to find maybe a coach, a mentor, or information sources, but you can have your own team, who maybe create your own team or join a team of colleagues who you are in the same level with. Let's say you are interested in incident response, and you have certain people who are also interested in the same field. Just link up with them and create your own team. And with that team, you can be learning together, taking up challenges like CTFs. I know most of you have heard of the Freaks team, the CTF team, which wins almost all CTFs. So you can see from that, you can build a strong network. So for a coach, this is someone who will challenge you to think. For a mentor, this is an expert. Let's say you are interested in penetration testing, so you find an expert or somebody who you think has the right information that you need to help you in that field. So for information sources, these are insiders, and they know what maybe a certain company has a job opening for something, or maybe you can just use them or rely on them to get information about, let's say, the job environment in a particular company. But I will advise you to rely on a coach, a mentor, and the team that you have created. So the main aim of having a network is to have to be connected with people, and to make you to always talk to people and find out what struggles are they finding in their path. Maybe you are challenged in a certain field, they can help you in that. So the other tip is to work on your soft skills. And I know you might have heard about soft skills you might have heard about soft skills in many places, but then being in security means that you have to be good in things like communicating. Let's say you want to communicate technical issues to somebody who is not in a technical field. Maybe you have your own consultancy firm, and you have clients and they don't understand anything about cybersecurity. You will rely on these soft skills like communication, being articulate to deliver what you want to deliver to them. So with soft skills or with communication, aim at treating people how they want to be treated and not how you want to be treated. So if you are working with a client, if you are working with your colleague at work, and you are trying to explain something to them or something of the sort, just look at how better you can explain a concept to them, and not how you would understand. Look at how they are as a person and know, this is how I should explain this concept to James since he understands in this way. So being articulate means that you should be able to express your thinking, or maybe let's say you are holding a discussion and you want to people to get your point. So you have to express your thinking or your point in a way that will make people get it and understand it, and not in a way that will show maybe like you want to win the discussion, or maybe in a way that will show people that you have power over them. So be articulate and listen to people, and listen and get to know how they can understand things first, and know how you will configure communication according to all those factors. So the other thing is through getting out of your comfort zone. I don't know if that is really a soft skill, but I will have to mention it. So some of us may be introverted. I hear most people in tech are introverted. So if that is the truth, then you should always work on getting out of your comfort zone. So maybe you attend a tech event and you are not a people's person. So get out of your comfort zone and network with people, since it is beneficial to your career. The other one is emotional intelligence, and then the last one is storytelling. So I think we are on the last part, which is remaining consistent. So to gain results in all those things that we have discussed, you must be consistent. Just don't like create a LinkedIn profile, do a post today, and then you don't do a post later until 6 months. Like, for you to see results, you have to be consistent. Be consistent and trust the process. And I think with that, I have come to the end of that topic. So I want us to continue the conversation, going through maybe if anybody has a question or any suggestion. Yes.
Hello, Maggie. Thanks so much. That was quite an informative session. Maybe if we have any questions, you can just unmute or you can ask in the chat. Okay, there's a question in the chat from Ian Peter. He's saying, can you talk a little bit about the first site you used in order to find which career path suits you the best? I think you can see it on the chat. We can talk about that.
So I think I will share a link to that. Just a minute. So there it is in the chats.
Okay, thank you. I think to add a little bit on that, Peter, I think you can also indulge yourself into like penetration testing. Then you'll find yourself like coming across all the fields that you can dive into. Like you can go into web, into malware, reverse engineering. Now I think the moment you dive into penetration testing, you'll like now you yourself you'll realize like which parts are you more interested in. Yeah, I think you can also use that. Like you just dive into penetration testing, then you can now like you just try to find the zeal and like what your heart feels like to do the most. I think that's all. That also helps. Oh, a comment from David. Thanks so much, David. Okay, Nancy, Maggie, I think I'll ask you a question maybe on a personal level. So basically, like I also do content, create content for mainly around tech, Linux, tech news, and cybersecurity, and also manage for other people. So recently there was this guy was managing his website. He mainly posts articles on Linux and tech news. Yeah, articles revolving around that. Then he started, like he said, I create content for him on cybersecurity, and I did. And then later, like when he did post them on the website, he realized like the traffic dropped, and like before, when somebody searched for anything, like his site could come up on the search engine first. It's not like dropped, like mostly on Chrome. So is there an issue, like maybe are like search engines trying to push down content about hacking and such related? Have you ever come across that?
Okay, I think first of all, maybe there might be an issue because of things like SEO, like adding certain keywords. So you might find that maybe the previous writer was using a certain structure of adding uh, some certain keywords that will make like the article be on the front page of, of like Google. But on the other side that you've said, maybe they're trying to push the like content that is related to hacking down. I am not really sure about that because I have never come across, but it might be there. I think we should do a little research because I think that's something that could happen. But I think for me, I only know of things which are about SEO and maybe adding keywords which will push like content to the first page.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I think maybe we can do research, because also realize though there's this guy known as Hackersploit. Maybe I know you're following him on YouTube.
Yes, yes.
There was there was a time I was doing a series on a certain topic on cybersecurity. Then I was actually following him. Then on a certain day he posted that YouTube had like banned him from posting a particular video. I can't really remember the topic. So maybe we can research on that. Maybe there are search engines, or maybe there are certain restrictions. You have a question on the chat from Anne. She's asking, do you have like a niche that your articles focus says on particularly? Maybe you can see that on the chat.
Okay, so I got into information security writing by chance because before that I was writing articles, and before writing articles I was in academic writing. So right now, most of the things that I am focused on, which are related to information security, focus on small and medium-sized businesses. So most of the topics are related to that. But I think if you are doing content that is cybersecurity related, you should have a lot of market for like articles and all such things, because for sites like Upwork and Fiverr, you might get that you have, let's say you are getting into Fiverr or Upwork as an information security writer, and another person is getting into those sites just as a normal writer, no specialization. But you will get that you as an information security writer will have like a higher success rate, because I think these are skills which are needed, and I have not specialized in a certain field in information security, because although I write for small to medium sized businesses, I write content which like entails anything and everything, as long as it helps them improve their cybersecurity posture. So things like how to increase security in Microsoft 365, things like like articles about things like bring your own device policies, such things. So I am not sure if I have answered that question or if I have digressed. So please confirm if I have answered you. Okay, I see I have answered your question, Anne. Collins is asking, is Hack the Box CTFs just like other CTF? Is based on more real world? Like, can you rely on Hack the Box and be good on real world? I think I will allow someone else to take that question. So I think Tony.
Hi, Maggie. Sorry. If you don't mind, I'd love to take that up. So I think I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. I'm Nancy Moretti, and we lead the campus program with Tony. Sorry, I couldn't, I was on my way home, so maybe I couldn't unmute earlier, but it's been an amazing session. Maybe I'll just dive to the question first. For starters, I would say Hack the Box is, well, he has first asked if it's the same as other CTFs. Well, to some extent, yeah, it's a CTF platform. Yeah, it's an online platform that you use to practice and get better at your penetration testing skills. So I would say it's just a little more complex compared to other sites like Try Hack Me. So if you compare the challenges in Hack the Box and Try Hack Me, for example, if you're a beginner, I wouldn't advise you to just dive into Hack the Box because you'll also get to learn how to create your own VMs and all these things. So it's a bit complicated. I believe the best platform to start with is Try Hack Me, and then as you get better, you can now move to Hack the Box. So something of the second part of the question, Hack the Box won't exactly portray what you'll get to deal with in the real world, but it just equips you with the skills that you'll need for that. Because okay, if you haven't maybe done a cybersecurity job before, I'll tell you, it's not really, like Maggie said, she mentioned something like that it's not really a straight line for the path, you know. So yeah, I hope that has answered your question, that it's not really parallel, but it will equip you and like make you really better to when you get to the real job setting. So yeah, maybe if there's any other question, and yeah, feel free to ask. Please jot them down in the chat box. I think we only have like a few minutes to end the session, but I would say it's been a pleasure hosting you. Maggie, I think we've planned it for quite some time, and actually you should share the link to your blog. I read your blogs, they're really good. So it was really nice that you got the chance to share with us today. And everything that she has said, it's like super important, you know, that being really good and knowing, having the technical skills and being really good behind a computer, it's not everything in cybersecurity. You really need to grow the people skills, know people, build communities, and all these things.
Moments. You know, my father was and still is such an influence and inspiration to me.
Maria, maybe you will meet yourself. Okay, so so yeah, I totally reckon with everything that you have said. And yeah, if you're a beginner, maybe the one thing I would say to you is be patient with yourself. Um, okay, I think what really helped me in my journey and what has been helping me in my journey is that you realize you'll never stop learning. Sometimes the imposter syndrome comes in and all that. But if you have yourself in that space that you realize you'll always be a student in this field, there's no one point you reach and you know everything and now you're good. There's always like the yearning to know more and more and more. So be patient with yourself. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add. Maybe Tony, as we conclude the session.
Oh, thanks so much, Nancy. I didn't expect you to join. That was great, and thanks for the advice to the members. Yeah, so like Nancy has said, yeah, it's all about sorry for that. So like Nancy has said, it's all about how you put yourself on the field. So thanks. Just a moment, I'm facing some technical issues.
Okay, I think before Tony comes back, I would love to say something. Thanks, Nancy, for inviting me for today's session. It has really been an honor speaking to everyone, and I hope you have gained something from this session. And remember, our agreement was that if you have some incomplete Udemy courses, come up with a plan and finish them. So thank you and good night.
I think you're speaking for so many of us when it comes to the uncompleted Udemy courses. But yeah, thank you also for accepting our invite. Also, if you're on this call and there's something you'd love to present for the campus edition sessions, you can reach out to me. We'll be happy to host you. She Hacks is like we're doing so much to like really support cybersecurity talents. You don't have to be an expert, as long as you just take that that step of faith and just pick a topic and prepare on it. And yeah, we'd be happy to host you. So in case of that, you can reach out to me. And yeah, I think we've come to the end of the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and being with us throughout the session. It's been so amazing. I was listening the entire time. And yeah, thank you. Maria, maybe you'll say something and then we can end the session. So good night, everyone. I'll see you on Thursday. Actually, if you allow me to add, we are having Hackfest. She Hacks. We have Hackfest every other year on October, and this is the third time you're having it in a row. So for Hackfest, maybe I'll just say what Hackfest is all about. It's basically a hacking month. So we have like different activities and opportunities lined up for the month. So yeah, we started last week, so you can join us for next week on Tuesday and also this week on Thursday. And please follow us on social media, She Hacks Kenya. You can watch these videos and catch up on YouTube also, She Hacks Kenya. So thank you so much, everyone. Like I said, if you have something you want to add or ask me, feel free to reach out to me. And good night, everyone. Thank you so much. See you on Thursday.
Thank you, Nancy. I'd like to thank our guest, Margaret, for coming. She really touched on some really good points. Thank you, Tony and Nancy, for hosting today. And good night to everyone. Thanks again for attending.